Hello students, I am Lalita S. Humbraskar, Economics teacher, BYK College of Commerce welcomes you in online lecture series organized by Gokhale Education Society's Central Coordination Committee for Class 12. Today I am going to discuss with you chapter number 9, that is Money Market and Capital Market in India. In this chapter, I am going to discuss with you what is the role of capital market in India. Next one is what are reforms introduced in the capital market and what is difference between capital market and money market. Let us see the first topic, what is role of capital market in India. Okay, before explaining the role of capital market in India, we have to know what is capital market, what is definition of capital market, and what are different financial instruments in the capital market. Capital market is a market for long-term funds, both equity and debt raised within and outside the country. Again, I am repeating what is capital market. Capital market is a market for long-term funds, both equity and debt raised within and outside the country. Now, what are financial instruments in the capital market? Bonds, equity shares, derivatives, government securities, trade bills, and promissory notes. Okay, so these are the financial instruments of the capital market. Now let us see what is the role of capital market in India. Number one is mobilizes long-term savings. Capital market mobilizes long-term savings. Let us see how. Investment funds are highly demanded by industrial organization and the government to start big projects. But the availability of financial resources is insufficient to meet this growing demand. So capital market helps to mobilize long-term savings from various sections of the population through the sale of securities. Okay, so it mobilizes long-term saving. Second one is provides equity capital. Capital market provides equity capital or share capital to entrepreneurs which could be used to purchase assets as well as fund business operations. Again, I am repeating, capital market provides equity capital or share capital to entrepreneurs which could be used to purchase asset as well as fund business operations. Now, what is equity capital here and what is share capital? Let us see. Equity capital means it is that capital which is free of debt specially and capital received for an interest in the ownership of a business. And now what is share capital? Share capital is that part of the capital of a company that comes from the issue of shares. So in this case, capital market provides equity capital. Next one is operational efficiency. Capital market increases operational efficiency. Let us see how. Capital market helps in achieving operational efficiency by lowering transaction costs, simplifying transaction procedures, lowering settlement timings in purchase of sale of stocks, etc. So it increases operational efficiency. Next one is a quick valuation. Capital market helps to determine a fair and quick value of both equity, that is shares, and debt instrument, that is bonds, debentures, trade bills, promissory notes, derivatives, government securities. So capital market helps to determine fair and quick valuation of all financial instruments. Next one is a integration. Capital market leads to integration among real and financial sectors, equity and debt instruments, government and private sector, domestic and external funds, etc. If there is no integration among different sectors of the economy, it affects economic growth and economic development of the country. Okay, so integration, that is also role of capital market. Next one is speed up economic growth and economic development. Let us see how. Capital market enhances production and productivity in the national economy. Capital market provides funds for long period of time and financial requirements of business houses are met by the capital market. It helps in research and development. This helps in increasing production and productivity in economy by generation of employment and development of infrastructure. So speed up economic growth and economic development, that is also role of capital market. Next one is a service provision. Capital market provides various types of services. It includes long-term and medium-term loans to industry, consultancy services, export finance, etc. So these services helps the manufacturing sector in a large spectrum. So service provision, that is a role of capital market. Next one is a capital formation. Capital market helps in capital formation. Now what is capital formation? Capital formation is a net addition to the existing stock of capital in the economy. Again I am repeating, what is capital formation? Capital formation is net addition to the existing stock of capital in the economy. Or in other words, you can say like this: converting savings into physical assets, okay, such as construction of dams, bridge, flyovers, etc. Okay, so converting saving into physical asset, that is also known as capital formation. So through mobilization of ideal resources, capital market generates savings. The mobilized savings are made available to various segments such as agriculture, industry, etc. So this helps in increasing capital formation. Next one is continuous availability of funds. Capital market is a place where the investment avenue is continuously available for long-term investment. This is liquid market as it makes fund available on continuous basis. Both buyers and sellers can easily buy and sell securities as they are continuously available. Basically, capital market transactions are related to the stock exchanges. Thus, marketability in the capital market becomes easy. So, continuous availability of funds, that is also role of capital market in India. So, what I discuss here, what is the role of capital market in India? Now next topic is, what are reforms introduced in the capital market? First reform is establishment of SEBI. Okay, what is full form of SEBI? Securities and Exchange Board of India. Okay, so SEBI was established in the year 1988. It got a legal status in 1992. What do you understand by legal status here? It means SEBI started functioning in the year 1992. SEBI was primarily set up to regulate the activities of the merchant banks, to control the operations of mutual funds, to work as a promoter of the stock exchange activities, and to act as a regulatory authority of new issue activities of the companies. Okay, that is the main objective of the SEBI. Okay, now let us see the functions, main functions of the SEBI. First function of the SEBI is to regulate the business of the stock market and other securities market. Second one is to prohibit fraudulent and unfair trade practices in securities market. Next function of the SEBI is to promote awareness among investors and training of intermediaries about safety of the market. Number 4 is to prohibit insider trading in securities market. And number 5, to regulate huge acquisitions of shares and takeover of companies. Okay, so these are the functions of the SEBIs. Okay, so fundamental objective of SEBI is to safeguard the interests of all parties involved in the trading. It also regulates the functioning of the stock market. So what are the objectives of the SEBI here? To monitor the activities of the stock exchange, to safeguard the rights of the investors, to stop the malpractices by maintaining balance between statutory regulations and self-regulations, etc. Okay, so this is also important in establishment of SEBI, that is an important reform in the capital market. Next one is a National Stock Exchange, that is known as a NSE. So that is also important reform introduced in the capital market. National Stock Exchange was established in 1992. The setting up to NSE is a landmark in the Indian capital market. At present, NSE is the largest stock market in the country. Trading on NSE can be done throughout the country through the network of satellite terminals. Okay, so NSE has introduced inter-regional clearing facilities. Okay, so currently there are around 1600 companies listed on National Stock Exchange, out of which around 1328 companies are in active status. Third one, next reform introduced in the capital market is computerized screen-based trading system. The short form of this SBTS, computerized screen-based trading system. Okay, so SBTS was introduced as a part of the modernization. So SBTS is a part of a modernization. It cuts down time, cost, risk of error and fraud, and thereby leads to improve operational efficiency. Okay, so the trading system also provides complete online market information through the various inquiry facilities. So SBTS is a method where people from distant locations are able to deal with each other, which helps in improving the cash flow of the markets. Now, what are the advantages of SBTS? The trading is done with high speed. That is an important advantage, benefit of the SBTS. And the system helps in improving the effectiveness of information in the market. Next reform introduced in the market is Demat account. Okay. What is a full form of Demat account? Dematerialization account. Okay, so it has introduced since 1996 to facilitate easy purchase and sale of shares by the investor through the electronic method. Okay, so online dealing of the shares by investors, okay, that is known as a demat account. So the advantage of demat trade is that it involves paperless trading. Very important advantage of demat account. Okay, it involves paperless trading. Let us see the benefits of the Demat account one by one. Dividends, share splits, bonus, etc. credited automatically. Very important benefit of the Demat account. Next one is a hassle-free and convenient. Hassle-free means there is no obstacle in the process of Demat account, so hassle free and convenient. Next one is a no tension of losing physical shares and transaction certificates. Easy fund transfer, okay, that is by electronic method. And next one is a lower transaction cost involved in the Demat account. So these are the benefits of Demat account. Now let us see the 5 best banks to offer Demat account. Okay, so number 1 is a ICICI Bank, number 2 is a HDFC Bank, number 3 is a Kotak Mahindra Bank, number 4 is a Axis Bank, and number 5 is a SBI, that is State Bank of India. Number 5 is next reform introduced in the capital market, that is accessing global funds market. Okay, let us see what is global funds market. Indian companies are allowed to access global finance market and benefit from the lower cost of funds. Okay, so nowadays Indian companies are permitted to access global finance market and benefit from the lower cost of funds. They have been permitted to raise resources through issue of American Depository Receipts, that is ADRS, Global Depository Receipts, that is GDRS, foreign currency convertible bonds, that is FCCBS, and external commercial borrowing, that is FCBS. Okay, so all companies they have been allowed to raise resources through the issue of different financial instruments, and they are ADRS, that is American Depository Receipts, GDRS, that is Global Depository Receipts, foreign currency convertible bonds, that is FCCBS, and external commercial borrowing, that is FCBS. Further, Indian financial system is open up for investment of foreign funds through NRIs. Okay, Indian financial system is also open up for investment of foreign funds. Okay, now so Indian companies approach to foreign funds also. How? Through NRIs. NRIs means non-residential Indians. Foreign institutional investors, that is FIIs, and overseas corporate bodies, that is OCBS. So accessing global funds market, that is also important reform introduced in the capital market. Next one is a growing stock exchanges. Okay. The number of various stock exchanges in India are increasing. Okay. So initially the BSE, what is the full form of BSE? Bombay Stock Exchange was the main exchange, but now after the setting up of the NSE, NSE means National Stock Exchange, and the OTCI, what is the full form of OTCI? Over the Counter Exchange of India. So what is the OTCI? OTCI is based in Mumbai, Maharashtra. It is India's first exchange for small companies as well as first screen-based nationwide stock exchange in India. Okay, so NSE and OTCI stock exchanges have spread across the country. Okay, so initially the BSE was the main exchange. Bombay Stock Exchange was the main exchange, but now after the setting up of National Stock Exchange and OTCI, stock exchanges have spread across the country. Okay, so recently a new interconnected stock exchange of India had joined the existing stock exchanges. At this moment, there are 23 stock exchanges in India. Okay, among them, two are national level stock exchanges, namely BSE and NSE. What is the full form of BSE? Bombay Stock Exchange, and NSE means National Stock Exchange. And the rest 21 are regional stock exchanges, that is RSC. So that is also important reform introduced in the capital market, growing of stock exchanges. Next reform introduced in the capital market is establishment of credit rating agencies. Okay, so 3 credit rating agencies were set up in order to assess or evaluate the financial health of different financial institutions and agencies related to stock market activities. Okay, so what are the names of these 3 credit rating agencies and why they were set up? To assess or evaluate the financial health of different financial institutions and agencies related to the stock market activities. Let us see the names of 3 credit rating agency. Number 1 is the Credit Rating Information Services of India, that is known as a CRISIL, and that was established in the year 1988. Okay. Second number is the Investment Information and Credit Rating Agencies of India Limited, that is known as a ICRA, and that was established in the year 1991. And third one is Credit Analysis and Research Limited, that is a CARE, and that was established in the year 1993. Okay, so all these credit rating agencies, they work as a guide for investors and also in evaluating the risk of investment. Let us see some names of rating agencies in India. First one is a Credit Rating and Information Services of India, that is known as a CRISIL. Just now I explained with you. Second one is Investment Information and Credit Rating Agencies Limited, that is ICRA. The third one is a Credit Analysis and Research Limited, that is CARE. Next one is a Credit Information Bureau India Limited, that is CIBIL. Next one is a SME Rating Agency of India Limited, that is SMERA. Onida India Credit Rating Agency of India, that is ONICRA. Fitch Rating India Limited, and Brickwork Ratings. Okay, so these are the credit rating agency, important credit rating agencies in India. And what about international credit rating agency? 3 names are given here. Moody's, number 2 is a Standard and Poor, and number 3 is a Fitch Rating. So this is also important reform introduced in the capital market, establishment of credit rating agencies. Next one is next reform number 8 that is introduced in the capital market is PAN made compulsory. What is the full form of PAN? Okay, permanent account number. Okay, so in order to strengthen the know your client norms and to have a sound audit trail of the transaction in securities market, PAN has been made mandatory with effect from Jan 1 2007. Okay, so very important reform introduced in the capital market, that is a PAN made compulsory for all transaction in the capital market. Okay, so generally what are the benefits of the PAN permanent account number, where we use permanent account number, that is a PAN, IT returns filling, identity proof, tax deduction, claiming income tax refund, starting a business, opening bank account, opening demat account, foreign travel. For such purposes we use PAN card. Okay, so permanent account number is issued by the income tax department. Okay, it is not just used by the income tax authority for tracking tax payment, but has now become mandatory for many day-to-day transactions. So PAN made compulsory in the capital market. Very important reform introduced in the capital market. Next one is insurance sector reforms. Number 9 is insurance sector reforms. Indian insurance sector has also witnessed massive reforms in the last few years. The Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority, that is IRDA, was set up in 2000. Again, I'm repeating, the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority, that is IRDA, was set up in the year 2000. It paved the entry of private insurance firms in India. So IRDA, that this authority, encourages private companies also to start their business in the insurance sector. As many insurance companies invest their money in the capital market, it has expanded. Let us see some public sector insurance company, names of some public sector insurance company, and they are: number 1 is a LIC, that is Life Insurance Corporation of India. Number 2 is a General Insurance Corporation of India. Number 3, the New India Assurance Company Limited. Number 4, United India Insurance Company Limited. Number 5, the Oriental Insurance Company Limited. Number 6, National Insurance Company Limited. And number 7, Agriculture Insurance Company of India Limited. So these are the public sector insurance company. So this is a list of the life insurance companies in India. So all these life insurance companies are the private companies. Okay, so they started their business after the implementation of IRDA. Number 1 is Aegon Life Insurance Limited. Number 2, Aviva Life Insurance. Number 3, Bajaj Allianz Life Insurance. Number 4, Bharti AXA Life Insurance. Number 5, Birla Sun Life Insurance. Number 6, Canara HSBC Oriental Bank of Commerce Life Insurance. Number 7, DHFL Paramerica Life Insurance. Number 8, Edelweiss Tokyo Life Insurance. Number 9, Exide Life Insurance. Number 10, Future Generali India Life Insurance. Number 11, HDFC Standard Life Insurance. Number 12, ICICI Prudential Life Insurance. Next one is a IDBI Federal Life Insurance. Next one is a India First Life Insurance. Next one, Kotak Mahindra Old Mutual Life Insurance. Next one is a LIC, that is Life Insurance Corporation of India. So this is a public sector insurance company. Next one is a Max Life Insurance Limited. Next one is a PNB MetLife India Insurance. Next one, Reliance Life Insurance, Sahara India Life Insurance, SBI Life Insurance, Shriram Life Insurance, Star Union Dai-ichi Life Insurance, and Tata AIA Life Insurance Limited. So these are the private insurance companies started in India after the implementation of IRDA. Next reform introduced in the capital market is Investor Education and Protection Fund, that is IEPF. Okay, so IEPF was established in the year 2001 to promote investors awareness and protecting the interests of the investors. Okay, so it works in educating and guiding investors. It tries to protect the interests of the small investor from fraud and malpractices in the capital market. Okay, so IEPF, so Investor Education and Protection Fund, established in 2001. That is also important reform in the capital market. Now let us see the difference. Next topic is difference between capital market and money market. Okay. Number one is participants. Who are the participants in the capital market? Financial institutions, public and private companies, foreign investors, ordinary retail investor from public. Okay, so these are the participants in the capital market. Now let us see who are the participants in the money market. Reserve Bank of India, that is RBI, financial institutions, banks, state governments, public and private companies. Second point is duration. Okay, so capital market deals in medium and long term securities. So duration is a long term here. And what happened to money market? Short term securities. So it's a short term. Duration is a short term, maximum 1 year. Third point is instruments. What are financial instruments in the capital market? Bonds, equity shares, preference shares, derivatives, government securities, trade bills, promissory notes. So these are the financial instruments found in capital market. And what happened in case of money market? In money market, what are the financial instruments? Call money market, treasury bills, commercial papers, certificate of deposits, commercial bills. Next point is number 4 is investment outlay. Capital market does not require huge sum of money. For example, value of security generally low, that is from rupees 10 to rupees 100. Okay, and what happened to money market? Huge sum of money is required in the money market. For example, treasury bills, minimum amount required for treasury bill is rupees 2,50,000. Next point is point number 5, liquidity. Capital market less liquid as compared to the money market. Okay, and what happened here in case of money market? Higher degree of liquidity because easily converted into cash, short term, negotiable. Okay, number 6 is safety. What about the safety in the capital market? Risky securities in respect to return and principal repayment. So higher risk involved in the capital market. And what happened to the money market? Due to short duration, high liquidity, credit worthiness of issuers. Okay, so less risk is involved in money market. Next one is number 7 is regulation. Who regulated capital market? Capital market is regulated by SEBI. What is the full form of SEBI? Securities and Exchange Board of India. And who regulated money market? Money market is regulated by RBI, that is Central Bank of the country, Reserve Bank of India. So this is a difference between capital market and money market. So student, what I discussed with you today, what is capital market? What is definition of capital market? What is the role of capital market in India? What are reforms introduced in the capital market in India? And what is difference between capital market and money market? And finally, thank you for listening my video lecture.